Yeah, Mr. Shays, I'll yield to you.
Just listening to your testimony, you said you believe you haven't injected anyone with any illegal drugs since 2002. What does the word believe mean? Did you or didn't you?
I wasn't really, about ball players I haven't, but I instructed Debbie Clemens in 2003.
Thank you. Let me ask a question before our time runs out. Did you ever tell Andy Pettit you were contemplating suing Hendrick Sports Management?
I might have.
Did you ever contemplate litigation against the LA Times following the stories relating to Jason Grimsley's affidavit?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Gentlemen's time. But having been involved in Washington in a few years and noting that the Mitchell report was quite extensive, in excess of 400 pages, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, I know George Mitchell is a very dedicated person, but I don't suspect that George Mitchell wrote every one of those 400 pages in his own handwriting or even by his own dictation. Is that reasonable to assume?
He did not do the first draft of every word. He did not do the first draft of every word, but I will tell you that he reviewed every sentence, every comma, every semicolon on multiple occasions.
So would you say that he substantially stands by every fact set forth in that report?
Everything that we said in the report was, at the time we wrote the report, we had a good faith belief for it. And
we had a what?
We had a good faith belief for it, and we believed it to be true.
Okay, have you changed that opinion now?
No.
You believe every fact set forth in the report is true as set forth?
Sitting here at this moment, I cannot think of a single fact that we would recant. No.
So the supposed meeting that occurred at Canseco's house, you've reviewed that, and he is told a lie, and the people that reported the ball game, they've told a lie. Is that correct? Or did that meeting not occur? Did it or didn't it occur? That's the question.
I would say at this point, we're not in a. It's not our role to judge what the subsequent facts are if they come to play.
Whoa! You mean to tell me if you're going to say I committed perjury or lied about some substantial fact, and in doing that you placed me at a particular location, and then it turns out that you couldn't possibly have been there and you weren't there, that's not material to your report?
Well, let me try and put the Canseco lunch into perspective then for you. Obviously, Mr. McNamee told Senator Mitchell that Mr. Clemens had been at Mr. Canseco's house for a luncheon. And this, I would add, is an instance which shows it's one of the reasons why we would have liked to have talked to the current players, because we could have gotten additional facts.
Right. We would have liked to talk to God to find out, but you didn't.
We would have liked to talk to the current players.
Witness, and he put Mr. Clement at a location that supposedly other impartial parties have provided affidavits that he wasn't there and couldn't have been there. Now my question to you is the writer of that report, and I'll assume you're the writer of that report, which of those facts is this committee and the public of the United States to accept? Did this meeting occur where the conversation of steroids occurred, or didn't it?
Well, let me take issue with a premise of your question, because it's important to understand that at that meeting, we do not write that any conversations about steroids took place at the Jose Canseco luncheon.
Okay.
If I could complete my statement.
I only have 5 minutes, so I don't want you to filibuster. We're used to the Senate doing that, but we don't do that in the House. So I want you to respond as quickly as you can so we can move through these facts.
I'll do my best.
Okay. Now, now are you contending that the fact that that meeting occurred and whether or not Mr. Clement was there is not important and is meaningless and shouldn't have been in the record? Or was it placed there for some purpose to show that there could have been a semi-conspiracy occurring and discussions being had, and this was just another element of that evidence? What is it?
This was placed in the report in large part because of the fact that we also interviewed Jose Canseco. And Mr. Canseco advised us that he had had repeated conversations.
Didn't he advise you that that meeting did not occur? under oath?
Well, he was not under oath when we spoke to him. We did not have the ability to place people under oath.
Okay, so now are you concluding that what did he tell you that meeting did not occur?
He did not answer that question because we did not ask it. At the time we interviewed Mr. Canseco, that was July 11th, 2006 in Fullerton, California. At that time, we did not know of this issue of the Canseco lunch.
Mr.
we didn't
Kaczorski,
ask him.
your time has expired.
Can I just close the last question?
Please, go ahead. No one objects.
Now, is this hearing, did that meeting occur or didn't that meeting occur?
I think you can draw your own judgments. I have heard since the report came out evidence suggesting that Mr. Clemens was at the lunch, evidence suggesting Mr. Clemens was not at the lunch. The one point I would like to make about that lunch is that Senator Mitchell did not state in the report that there was either performance-enhancing substance use discussed, nor were any performance-enhancing substances exchanged during the course of that luncheon.
Gentleman's time has expired. Mr.